Alright, so number 1, solve the absolute value equation or indicate that the equation has no solution. So first I'm going to rewrite the problem. Okay, I'm going to use a different color. So we need to get the 10 to cancel out. So you need a minus 10 on both sides. So that'll cancel out. So that'll equal 10. So all together, okay. I'm going back to red. So now we have to get rid of the 2 to just leave the absolute value on one side. So to get rid of the 2, you have to divide it by 2 on both sides. So you cancel out the 2. So that'll leave you with the absolute value of 7 minus 3x equals 5. So to get rid of the absolute value, you have to take 5 and negative 5. So you can get 2 answers. So we need to get rid of the absolute value. So you just put 7 minus 3x equals negative 5. And then over here you have a 7 minus 3x equals 5. So what you have to do, you have to get the x by itself. So you move the 7 over here. So that'll be negative 3x equals negative 12. So to get the x by itself, you need to divide it by negative 3 on both sides, negative 3. The negative 3's cancel out. So your first answer is x equals 4. Okay, let's get a different color. So now we're going to do the other side, which will be, we need to get the 7, get the x by itself. So we need to put the 7 over here with the 5. So it'll be minus 7, minus 7. Let's cancel out. So it'll be negative 3x equals negative 2. So we need to get the x by itself. So these cancel. Negative 3. So your other answer is x equals 2/3. So for number 1, your answer is x equals 4 and x equals 2/3. Okay, so for number 2, it says solve the radical equation. Check all proposed solutions. So what we do is I'm going to rewrite the question, the problem. Okay, so we need to get the radical by itself. So we need to minus 5 on both sides. So that'll cancel out. So it'll be square root of 2x minus 7 equals x minus 5. So to get rid of the radical, we need to square root it on both sides. So this will cancel out. So it'll be 2x minus 7 equals. So now we have to factor this out. So what it will be before we factor is x squared minus 10x plus 25. So what we do, we have to get this equation equal to 0. So we have to take the 2x and subtract it from the 10x. So that'll be, so it needs to go over here, so that'll be minus 2x. And then the 7 has to go over here with the 25 because it's the same value. So it'll be 0 because it has to equal to 0. 0 equals x squared minus 12x plus 32. So now since we have this equation, we can factor it down even more. So it'll be 0 equals x minus 4 and x minus 8. So we have two answers. Since you have 0, we do x minus 4 equals 0 and x minus 8 equals 0. So we add 8 to both sides. That'll cancel. We add 4 to both sides. And that'll cancel. So this side will be x equals 4. This side will be x equals 8. Now since we have a radical form, we have to check. We have to plug these answers back into the problem. So we're going to move over here. So the first one is x equals 4. So we do the radical of 2, put the 4 in parentheses, minus 7 plus 5 equals 4. So you can plug that into the calculator, or you can do it by yourself. So it'll be 1 plus 5 equals 4. So this does not equal 4, it equals 6. So that is not equal. So this one, this answer is not true. So now we're going to go back up here. And so we're going to do the other one. We're going to plug 8 in into x. Okay, so again, you can plug that into the calculator as well. So you get the square root of 9 plus 5 equals 8. Because when you reduce the square root of 9, it is 3. And that comes down, so it's 8. So the correct answer is x equals 8.